Once upon a time, there was a clever young lad of the ancient city of Ispahan in Persia. He was out one day when he came upon a ghoul, a sort of ogre giant, terrible in size and horrible in temper. "What can I do?" he asked himself. And well he might ask, for ghouls love to enslave and destroy people, and even eat them up. All that the young man, Amin the True was his name, had with him was an egg and a lump of salt, both in his pocket. Now, as everyone knows, the best form of defense is attack, so Amin approached the ghoul, which was looking at him with frightful fury, and said, "Ho, ghoul! Let's have a contest of strength." For a moment the ghoul was puzzled, because human beings never spoke like that to him, and like all ghouls, he was not brilliantly intelligent. Then he said, "You don't look very strong to me." "I may not look strong," said Amin, "but have you not heard that appearances can be deceptive? Here is a proof of my tremendous strength." He picked up a stone. "Now I challenge you to squeeze water out of this." The ghoul took the stone and tried. Then he said, "No, it is impossible." "Not at all. It is easy," replied Amin. While the ghoul had been squeezing, Amin had placed the egg in his own hand. Now he took the stone in the same hand and squeezed. There was a crushing sound as the egg broke, and the ghoul saw what he thought to be the liquid from the stone running between Amin's fingers. And all this was done without Amin showing any sign of strain at all. Luckily, it was not completely light, so the details of what was happening were not entirely visible to the monster. Then Amin took up another stone and said, "There is salt in this one, just crumble it between your fingers." The ghoul looked at the stone and saw that it was quite beyond his power to crush it, and he admitted that he could not. "Oh, give it to me," said Amin. He took it into the hand in which he had already hidden the lump of salt, and crumbled the salt into the hand of the amazed ghoul. "Now," said the giant, "you must stay the night with me." And Amin agreed, for he guessed that he would always be able to get the better of him. When they arrived at the immense cavern which was his host's home, the ghoul threw Amin an enormous bag made from the hides of no less than 6 oxen, and said, "Go and fill this with water while I make the fire ready to cook." He went away in search of wood. Amin wondered what he could do about the water, and then an idea occurred to him. He could hardly drag the bag more than a few feet, so he abandoned it and went down to the stream and started to dig a small channel. Soon the ghoul appeared and cried, "Why are you taking so long? Can't you lift a little bag of water?" "No, my friend," said Amin. "Since you are being so hospitable to me, I have decided to dig a channel to bring the water to you, so that you always have a supply. See, I have started already. There is no point in feats of strength for their own sake. That is just a waste of time and effort." The ghoul was hungry, so he said, "Leave the water, I shall carry it." And he picked up the bag as if it had been a feather and filled it at the river. "Finish the channel tomorrow, if you want to," he said. The ghoul ate a huge meal, and in the darkness of the cave, Amin pretended to eat as well. Then the ghoul pointed to a sleeping place and told Amin to lie down on it for the night. But there was a crafty look in the ghoul's eyes, and Amin placed a large pillow in the place where he should be sleeping and hid himself in a corner. A little before daybreak, the ghoul woke up. Seizing an immense tree trunk, he smashed it down on Amin's head. There was not even a groan, and the ghoul grinned as he thought that he must have crushed Amin to pulp. Just to make sure, he pounded the bed 7 times. Now the ghoul went back to sleep, But he had hardly settled himself again when Amin, who had crept back into his own bed, cried out, "Friend Ghoul, what insect could that be which disturbed me by its flapping? I counted the beat of its wings 7 times. Although such things cannot hurt men, they can be disturbing to someone who is sleeping." The ghoul was aroused to such heights of fear at hearing that this was a man who felt a shattering blow, 7 blows, only as the wings of an insect, that he fled headlong from his cave, leaving Amin its master. Amin took up a gun which had been left by some victim of the ghoul and went out to scout. He had not gone very far when he saw the ghoul coming back. In his hand he held a large club, and beside him was a fox. Amin realized that the cunning fox had explained matters to the ghoul, but he was equal to the challenge. Aiming the gun, he shot it through the head. "Take that," he shouted, "for disobedience." To the ghoul he said, "That liar," pointing to the fox, "had promised to bring me 7 ghouls so that I might put them in chains and lead them back to the city of Ispahan, but he brought only you, who are already my slave." No sooner were the words out of his mouth than the ghoul took to his heels. Using the club to help him, he leapt over rocks and precipices, and he was soon far out of sight.